Hey everybody, this is the first of the tasting of the Nissin 50th Anniversary Cup Noodles set that has the ramen and soda combinations. So today I'm going to be starting off with the curry noodles, cup noodles, and soda. The noodles themselves seem to be a little different from the normal ones that you get. This was something that was, these were common when I used to go to arcades, and the arcades would have noodle vending machines in them. You get your cup of noodles, you open the top, there's a little vending thing that would drop down, paper wrapped, hashi chopsticks. So the curry noodles were kind of ubiquitous there. I tried them once. I didn't really care for them because, again, I don't like curry sauce on noodles. I like broth noodles, not necessarily saucy noodles. That being said, when I just opened the lid of this to pour the hot water in it, it smells delicious. It actually just, I was like, okay, I'm now immediately starving. So I think that these mixes may be a little different than the original ones. I'm not quite sure. This one's about ready to try. Didn't have a weight, so instead I used one of my little, see if the hand thing works there, one of my little shoggoths that I made. If you don't know what a shoggoth is, don't look them up. They're forbidden knowledge. And so I think this one's about ready to go. Again, smells so good. And to really top it off with the little 50th anniversary, there's a little kitty cat on the lid. I'm sure he has some, this is a mascot of some sort, and he's saying something that I can't understand, but I will translate that afterwards. Japan, cats are called Nico. Miniki Nico is the little cat that doing the little waving thing. And they don't say meow in Japan, they say nya nya. So that is something, if you run across a cat and they are nya nyaing, then perhaps they're a Japanese cat, or they're just a learned cat who understands Japanese. So something to consider. Yeah, so right off the bat, there are our noodles. And we have, I believe, that one needs, these need to get sunk a little bit. They're still a little crispy. I believe these are hunks of potato. So potato is a very popular and common ingredient in Japanese curries. Japanese curry is seasoned differently than Indian curry, and again, I know there's an argument of that there even is a dish called curry in India, or an English curry, or any other kind of curry. The Japanese curry has its own sort of spicing and seasoning and flavor and smell. Curry roux, which are little blocks of fat and flour and seasonings, it's one of the easiest ways to make that dish is you cut up your vegetables and everything, you put that roux in there with a certain amount of water, it just cooks, it thickens the sauce, and they're amazing. Vermont is one of the main brands of it. If you go to a Japanese or an Asian grocery, Vermont curry, they have this kind of obsession with putting apples and honey in the curry, which doesn't diminish it, doesn't overly sweeten it or anything. It's just kind of what they consider to be the way you do things. So yeah, right away, this has some potatoes, looks like some little bits of carrot in there, and some little hunks of what is actually called in Nissin, there we go, like that, mystery meat, and little hunks of pork or beef. And one thing that you'll notice with these being different from most American cup noodle, these noodles are flat. They're not nearly as curled up, and they're curly and everything, but they're more of a flat noodle than your normal ramen. So I don't know if that's just something with the curry noodles. I don't really know enough about these to say one way or another. So, but they are flatter noodles than even their normal cup ramen, I believe. I'll have to compare that when I try that one again. So yeah, man, this smells so good. It is not thick like I had expected or remembered. I've seen the dish where it's almost like a very thick coating, almost like a marinara sauce or something of this curry. This is brothy. This has more of a broth component to it. So what I'm going to do today is obviously just enjoy these, see what they're like, and then I'm going to sample the soda with it to see how closely they actually get to the flavor here. And I'm probably, you know, these smell great, so I'm going to nail them. So let's try it. Itadakimasu. Okay, they're good. They're really good. It's not a broth. It is kind of a thin sauce or thin gravy. The noodles themselves they actually got a little softer than I care for, but that's me blabbering. But they taste great. The actual, you know, they taste like a Japanese curry. Not as strong as I had expected them to taste. I've had some Japanese curry that they make hot curry, they make spicy curry, but the majority of them are not hot, pepper hot, as much as they are. There's a lot of spice, a very heavy spice flavor. These have a more light, spicy flavor. Try one of these, I'm assuming potato. Yeah, just tastes like a dried potato. Scary, I know. Yeah, I mean, they're really good. They're very tasty. They're just milder than, like I said, I was expecting. I kind of expected there to be kind of a punch in the face of heat, or at least something. These are not. This is not going to be an insult. It's actually meant to be a positive. They're not challenging. This is just something you could give this to somebody if they like curry flavorant much at all. They would really get into these. These have an easy access point. There's not much. Yeah, very good. They're a solid. I tend to go for spicy chicken noodles. You guys have seen on this channel. Those are kind of my favorite go-tos. This is not probably going to be something, because I actually want more heat. I want there to be more of a kind of kick to it. But if I was in an arcade and these were my options, I would be glad. You know, it's like they're good, solid noodles. They're just not going to be something that I'm going out of my way to try all the time. So, yeah, okay, I can't tell if my camera is telling me it's about to run out of battery. So, if I die, I'll just come back and, well, if the camera dies, let's not wish death on Brian. If the camera dies, I'll just come back, but I'll explain the weird jump cut, as opposed to me just being, you know, experimental new French cinema, which that's a possibility. So I'm not really explaining these, I'm just eating them because they're good. I actually think they would do with some Japanese pickles, like the kind of pickles you tend to get with curry. And now that the potatoes have kind of rehydrated, they're soft. They're like a very well cooked potato. So, the noodles and the broth. This is definitely one where you want to get the broth in with the noodles because it just really heightens it. You know. Okay, so I mean, all I'm doing here is just telling you that these are good. A lot of Japanese people are like, "Yeah, thanks, dude. We kind of knew that." So what I'm going to do now, I've tried these. We're going to give the soda a try and see how that works out. So you go there. Here is our lovely aluminum reclosable can bottle of curry soda. Aluminum bottles are something that Jolt Cola, my beloved Jolt, tried to bring into the United States as a serious replacement for plastic bottles. Plastic soda bottles are awful. plastic water bottles are awful. There is no benefit to them. They're not recyclable. The idea that plastics are recyclable was a lie told by the plastics industry in the late 60s, early 70s to get people to use plastic. So plastic bottles suck, flat out. These, on the other hand, are infinitely recyclable, and recycled aluminum is actually one of the few things that you can recycle that is profitable. So, yeah, at least, yeah, it's in a styrofoam cup, but at least the soda is in lovely recyclable aluminum. Okay, curry soda. Okay. Not the color I was expecting. This is kind of a rich cola color. I was not expecting. I was expecting more of a yellow curry color, which maybe this is more appetizing than a yellow would be. And I'm going to treat this like a very basic, soda. Yeah. I can't describe this other than to say it literally smells like curry mixed in Coke. It may be that obvious. It doesn't smell bad. It actually is hitting me with this weird nostalgia buzz. Like, the thing of scent is related to memory so closely. Yeah, that's bizarre. So, yeah, we'll give it a shot, so kanpai. None of you are going to believe me. None of you are going to believe when I tell you this is delicious. This tastes like it is a dark soda. So think Coke, think Dr. Pepper, think Moxie, Arrow. I know you've had the Moxie. Other people I know have had the Moxie. Try a Moxie. This is actually, okay, yeah, this is Moxie with curry. This tastes better than Moxie. I don't like Moxie. I would not drink a Moxie, probably again. This is the good parts of Moxie with this lovely note of Japanese curry. Jones Soda, you guys probably know Jones Soda. Jones Soda, they do like a turkey dinner soda that literally just tastes like a turkey dinner in a soda. It doesn't elevate the drink. This, if I could buy this, I would occasionally want this. I would occasionally want to drink this. So the idea that those madcap food scientists at Nissin said, hey, let's make crazy ramen flavored sodas, but actually make them enjoyable and make them something of themselves. This is not just they took a cola and threw flavor in it. If they did, it works. If that's what they did, awesome. Great job, because you nailed it. But I think that somebody actually tasted this. I think somebody worked on it, went back and forth and said, no, that's too much of this, not enough of this, whatever. This is good. And rum would be perfect in this. I mentioned on the last post what would be some good mixers for these. Rum or bourbon? Scheisse. I'm out of bourbon. I was like, I think I have a couple of fingers of bourbon left in there, but I don't have any more bourbon. So I'm never probably going to get these again. They're limited edition. They're not, going to be for sale on a regular thing unless Nissin says, hey, let's do that. But so know that in a, alternate dimension where you can get Nissin curry cup noodle soda regularly, this would make a delightful 2-part cocktail with bourbon. I'm gonna go out there. I am surprised. I honestly was expecting that these were going to be somewhat, they're gimmicky. They're just a thing, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, but this is delicious. Now comes the question, does this taste like the ramen? No, not at all. It has that note, you smell it. Yeah, it definitely smells like this. It actually doesn't, pardon me, I've ingested soda, I am burping. I think because what I'm getting here is I'm also getting the wheat of the noodles and I'm getting some other smells. But yeah, it smells very similar. It smells like the same kind of curry. This smells slightly different though. Like it could be a different curry mix. And again, there is a dark soda smell. Like I said, your colas, your Dr. Peppers, your Moxies, maybe your root beers. It doesn't have the kind of same smell as a root beer or a sarsaparilla, but think dark brown sodas instead of like lighter stuff. And it smells more like Coke than Pepsi, but I honestly think that it's more Moxie with curry in it. But again, it's the good parts of Moxie, not particularly sweet. That's the other thing. There's a little sweetness, just enough to make it good, but it's not as sweet as a Coke. I mean, a Coke, a Pepsi, even not a Mexican Coke, which has cane sugar in it, or a throwback Coke or Pepsi. Those are incredibly sweet. This is not sweet, really, particularly. It's enough. It's sweet enough. It actually works really well. I used to work at a place called Swenson's. It was an ice cream parlor restaurant, and we made root beer and sarsaparilla there. We would actually take soda water and extract, old Dr. Pete's old-timey extract, and make sarsaparilla and root beer, and it was delicious. Sarsaparilla, I want to say it was originally sassafras root, and it's illegal to sell it now in any large quantities because apparently it is a carcinogen, at least in large amounts. But this tastes like something someone would have made like this. It tastes like a soda that was made as opposed to a bottled thing that's been sitting on a shelf forever. So, okay, so starting off again with curry and curry, I'm going to give the noodles, out of a 10, I'm going to go an 8, because they're just a good solid noodle. There's nothing, maybe a 7, 8, around there, but again, worth your time if you like curry and you like the noodles. The soda is surprising the hell out of me, so 9 out of 10, because it's actually a good soda. It's not just a gimmick soda, it actually tastes good. So yeah, with these both, if this is the way it's going to go, I'm more than happy to go along for the ride. Seafood, I'm not so sure about. I'm not sure about the seafood noodles. In my head I could at least imagine a curry noodle or a curry soda tasting alright. A seafood soda, I'm still completely, not into the idea. We'll give it a try. I'm going to try all of them. But yeah, I would buy this again. This would be a nice 4-pack to mix, watch movies, eat popcorn. Yep. And you get curry flavored burps. So the one thing is I would not suggest eating these with shrimp chips. Shrimp chips are delicious when you're eating them, but your burps taste like an aquarium. So that would be that would be just bad in your mouth. So yeah, the first of these I think is a success. So again, Cup Noodle, 50 years, Nissin, great job, followers of Ando, Momofuku Ando. They did a good job on these. So I'm looking forward to trying the other ones, and I will let you know as those go. So welcome aboard to everybody who has recently subscribed. Thanks again to everyone who helped this thing happen in the first place, and I hope you guys all have a great week and are doing very well. Talk to you later. Bye.